Hello, good day, and you're welcome to the 12th of the holiday bootcamp with um, parents of toddlers. I am Chioma Okoli, and I am the founder of the Expectant Parent Academy. We are continuing on the skills you can teach your toddlers, especially those that have been in school, they've been interacting with other children from different homes with different character and behavior, with different picking up a lot of things and all of that. Now, um, in the first thing we want to do, there will basically be talking about two things today. The first one I'd like us to take a look at and seriously teach our toddlers is peace. All right. And now somebody be like, how do we teach toddlers peace? How would they understand the concept and all of that? Do not worry, I'm going to tell you that. Number one is that the importance of this is that toddlers are always it's typical of them to be chaotic. It's typical of them to be you know some people, the toddler age is known as a terrible twos because they are quite erratic, they are quite unpredictable, their energy is unending, and so if you don't keep them, if you don't structure or organize their activities, they can be anywhere and everywhere. And oftentimes the parents or the adults who stay with these children, their own energies cannot even match what these children are willing to do. So one would ask, how do I teach peace to a child who barely understands the common things that he or she should understand? I'll teach you how. The first thing is that you model it before you teach it. Now, I've realized that when either me or my husband are the first people that my children see when they wake up in the day, the mornings are usually more peaceful, coordinated, and all of that, as opposed to when the people staying with me wakes them up or the children meets them and all of that. Now, I started asking why, and I started trying to observe what happens. And sometimes, um, let me take for instance, my daughter cries in the middle of the night. It's typical of people within her age to either cry of hunger in the middle of the night, um, especially if their last meal before going to bed was something below 10 p.m. It's normal for the child to cry around 12, 1, 2, 3 for hunger. So usually my children, once I win them, they stop sleeping with me. And sometimes when they disturb in the middle of the night, and then any of my nieces they are staying with, now gets up, fixes them a meal or gives them water, or maybe takes her to the potty. Right now, my daughter has learned that if she wants to wee in the middle of the night, she will cry. She won't be able to tell you that she wants to wee, but she will keep crying until you either take her to the toilet or she finally wees on her diaper and sleeps off. But sometimes even if she wees on her diaper, she will take it off and then sleep off. So the easier thing is, once she cries, take her to the potty and see if she wees, and then sometimes she sleeps off. So I noticed that The days when she disturbed in the middle of the night and in the morning, the adult or the other people that she slept with kind of carries over this annoyance of disturbing their sleep or whatever. And they won't hit her, they won't yell at her, but they won't respond to her in the way that the child would expect to be reacted to. The child wouldn't receive the love and the cuddle he or she would expect, and something like that, which is the contrast with me and my husband. Of course, when they wakes and the first person they see is either of us, smiling at them. Personally, no matter how difficult my night was, either because of something I'm working on or something that I was working on and kept me late in the night, or because the children disturbed and at some point I had to go see what's going on. Irrespective of how smooth or hard my night was, we have this culture, my husband and I have this culture of, hugging the children, smiling at them, asking them how, if they slept well, how their night was, and all of that. And as simple as this routine is, it actually means a lot to them. I realized that the days that a couple of weeks ago I was not feeling quite well, so my son came into the room. I was just looking at him. He now came and laid close to me, used my hand to keep on his body and all of that. He was still looking at me. He wanted the same routine. I was weak, and when he continued looking at me and all of that, and I wasn't forthcoming, he now said, "Mommy, tell me, how was your night? Mommy, tell me, did you slept well? And or Mommy, did you ask me, tell me if did you sleep well?" and all of that. I was like, okay, I managed to mutter those words, and he still wasn't satisfied because it wasn't coming with the energy and the smiles and excitement he had known it for. So it has been noted that the first 5 minutes of a child waking up, what the energy, the emotion with which you speak to that child within the first 5 minutes sets the tone for several hours of the day, how peaceful or chaotic your day and that of your child is going to be. And so I didn't know this early, but I noticed that at some point we try to be cheerful around the children, and I noticed that they would always prefer to be with us if we're around, as opposed to the people staying with us. And like I said, I started asking myself, why is it like that? Is it like, aside the fact that we are the father, that my husband is their father, or that I'm their mother, what exactly is responsible for this? And there I have it. So the point I'm trying to make here is, when your child wakes up in the morning, make it as peaceful as you can. Even if your child is still within, like those within the ages of 3 and 4 that have stopped wearing diapers to bed, occasionally that there may be accidents where there was bedwetting and something like that. Don't focus on that. Maybe they disturbed your night, or you're having you didn't catch enough sleep before they woke up, and all of that. Some parents actually say they are angry in the morning when the children wakes up earlier than they should, because of the lots of activities and the energy in caring for them in the following minutes or hours. But hey, it's only a dead person that doesn't wake up from sleep now, right? So when the child wakes up, you should really be happy that this your child is awake and healthy. It's not every day you have them waking up healthy, right? So can you find reasons to be happy that your child is whatever thing? I've mentioned a couple of things that could make you not meet your child with the right energy when they wake up in the morning. And if you have people who stay with you, I've always stressed this. When you learn a thing about your children or about life, and you know that thing is something that other persons should be a part of, please discuss it with them. Discuss it with them so that you are not the only one who has the lights, okay, in your house. Because, like I will always say, we don't always spend 24 hours every day with our children. So, those few minutes or those few hours that we're not going to spend with them, make it make the other people who will take who will take your place know what to do and what the right thing is or what is acceptable. All right, because if I hadn't noticed this and I didn't start the conversations when I started it, till today my children would still prefer to be with me or their father when he's around. But the other persons have learned to relate with them from a place of peace and calm. Even when they are doing something that is not right, you don't have to yell. Yelling actually does not depict peace. I hope we know that. So when you are constantly yelling at a child, it's setting in a lot of emotions. A lot of hormones are being released, and those hormones are not hormones that will calm them down. Those hormones are not hormones that will make them to stick to the path of peace. So you really want to um make your home as peaceful as it should in your interactions with your children and even the other adults around. Oftentimes, you notice that when you point your finger at another adult or you speak to another adult like in an angry manner and your children are there, your children will pick up they will pick up the energy immediately and transfer it to that same adult you're talking to. I don't know if it has happened to anyone listening to this, but it has happened to me a number of times. All right. So, the second thing I'd like us to talk about is self control. Self control. um, when either of my children is doing something that they should not do, like they are being aggressive or something, the other one will always find a way to say, calm down, calm down. My daughter's calm down is really funny. But she was saying, calm down. She'll be using her hand to do that. What happens? The child learns that there are times when I want to behave in a certain way, but that's not the right way to behave. And especially when the other child is now, when the sibling is now the one saying those things. When my daughter is really angry and the brother is telling her that she charges at him, something like that. But in that instance, what I now do is I come into the picture, I carry her, and I try to say calm down myself in a more relaxed voice and all of that. Self-control is really vital. We should not assume that toddlers will not understand the concept of self-control. Definitely they won't understand it as much as the adults or the other children, but in their own level, there are instances where you can teach self-control. One child, your two kids are thirsty and want to drink water. Make one person to wait. Make them take turns from time to time. Make them take turns in, maybe you decide to feed them for whatever reason. Feed them with one spoon so that one person can learn to wait for mommy or daddy to feed one person before feeding to feed the other sibling before feeding him or her. Most of the challenges we have in our world today with the older adults is in the place of self-control. A lot of us adults lack self-control as a skill. Why would somebody want to kill or go into fraud to make money because he can't control his lust to make it big in a short while. Why would a man or a woman want to cheat on the spouse? Because they can't control his lust for the other person. Alright, so self-control is vital. Self-control is vital. And the earlier we start laying the foundation in our children, the better for all of us. So, this is where we are ending it for the discussion today. I hope you've been able to get something to work with. The two things I mentioned is modeling and teaching peace to your toddlers, and then modeling and teaching self-control to your toddlers. When they get back to school, for those that have been in school, those that will be starting school, when they get to school and some things happen, some of these little things have started laying the foundation now. We will see them playing out, because even when they want to do or they want to copy the words or the actions of the other children, they come back home. We're having conversations on self-control. We're having conversations on words that are inappropriate. We're having conversations on touches that are inappropriate. You can recall to them and it will make more sense to them. Alright? So, take what we are doing here seriously. Implement them where you should implement, and watch what happens. Be consistent in it, and you'll be sure that your toddler would not behave like the average toddler out there. Alright, so thank you so much for tuning in to day 13. We have to day 12 rather. Thank you for tuning in to day 12. We have just 2 days to conclude, 3 more days to conclude the whole series of the bootcamp. And I hope you've been learning. I hope you've been implementing. I hope you're doing those diligently. Thank you so much once again for joining me. And if you're to subscribe to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you learned a thing or two from it, and hit the subscription bell for further sessions that will prepare you better to parent your toddlers from the place of knowledge and confidence. Thank you so much once again. My name is Chioma Okoli, and I am the founder of the Expectant Parent Academy. Thank you and good day.